Hey y'all, so I just wanted to record a quick video about redistricting. Now, I think one of my first videos on this YouTube channel was about redistricting, and how I didn't like it. And I still don't like the gerrymandering, but I think I've adopted a new way of looking at it. But anyways, so the point is that in this video, I do want to do a midway through redistricting update. I'm not going to do another one of these until all of the maps come out, and then review the ones that I, seem notable. But yeah, this is like midway because we have now less than a year, and by the time, well, I'm recording this on the 30th of November, and I believe y'all are gonna see this in like mid-December. So it's by the time you're watching it, it's like 10 and a half months away from the election. So yeah. Point is, there's redistricting. I want to talk about it. By the time you watch this, it's less than 11 months out to the election, which is just so. Anyways, yeah, it'll only be like 10 and a half months. Anyways, so big ones. I want to get out of the way. I don't know if I talked about this in my first video but Ohio. By the way, this is not because people on Twitter I saw were like, "Oh my goodness, the Republicans gerrymandered so bad." Like, no, they didn't. They could have done much worse. Like much worse. Oh my goodness. This is obviously gerrymandered, but it's not as bad as it could be. There was one map that gave Republicans all of these districts. Like, it was basically guaranteed, not guaranteed, but it would take like a D+8 or more environment. It would take a huge Democrat wave to get even one or two more districts. Like, it was basically safe, 13 out of 15. But now Republicans said, no, we gotta I don't know what their ideas were, but anyways, some big changes were mainly Tim Ryan's district is he was districted into Ohio 6th, which is an R+26, which is why he's also running for Senate, because he knows he's gonna lose if he ran for re-election in the House. Also, something I don't like is that they put this guy that had an R+8 environment down to an R+3 and down to a technically toss-up, and a Democrat could totally win that. Anyways, oh, but they also took this long district and put Marcy Capture, which Marcy Capture used to be one of the, in 2020, I believe Democrats got 1, 2, 3, 4 districts. They redistricted out Tim Ryan. They redistricted out Marcy Capture. So, yeah, that's 2 of the 4 Democrats. And the other 2 are literally in Cleveland and Columbus, like downtown Columbus. So they're just simply not able to be redistricted out. Because it's Sean Tauper out, +57 to +55. So technically it's a shift to the right, but like not by that much. Also 36 to 40. So like they do overtime for George Beatty. George Beatty, oh my goodness. I remember she was arrested for, okay. I'm not gonna get into that. Point is, Ohio may. It's not as bad as it could be, as people think it is. Indiana, they didn't do really anything but shore up this district. Something notable, by the way, is that Virginia also just can't, even though Democrats completely control the process. I believe so. I don't know. A bipartisan commission made a decision in state legislatures. Okay, so basically, I believe even the bipartisan commission couldn't come up with couldn't decide. So the state Supreme Court is now having to do that. Also, Nevada Republicans can get all 4 districts, which I totally think they're going to do next year. Washington, this is meh. Like, it's not really as bad. By the way, this is a proposed issue, so hold on, let's go back. Also notable, California's independent redistricting, and they cannot, like, it's enacted by the Independent Commission. It's not even, anyways. And it gets rid of Democratic districts, which is why I'm like, maybe this is one of the only few times where an independent commission is actually independent. Because instead of just getting rid of the few Republican seats and making Republicans, you know, go into D+5 or 8 districts and losing re-election, or basically losing re-election 2024, 2026, they actually got rid of Democrat leaning seats. And now David Nunes did go into a D+5 district, which is why I'm like, while it's not perfect, by the way, for the Republicans, it's still, and move this guy into a D+3 district. Actually, no, he was from a D+9 down to a D+3, so it did help him. Also, right under Los Angeles, not right under, but probably right under / around Los Angeles is a D+5 Young Kim district, which is so weird. But yeah, basically making a lot of Southern California districts more competitive. What's the other thing to look at? Illinois, oh my goodness. Y'all think Ohio is bad? Go look at Illinois. Anyways. Like, okay. In Ohio, for example, right? They create 1 district in Columbus, 1 district in Cleveland, and that's it. Okay. Because that's where the Democrats are a lot of the time, is in cities. Where the Republicans are in Illinois is all over all outside of this area. So what they did, right, was to just make every rural person in Illinois go into one of 3 districts. Just, you get 3 lonely representatives. I see. Okay. Yup. Because they knew she was going to lose in her re-election bid. So they had to draw her map and said, they had to draw her map to include a city so that she wouldn't. Okay, let's breathe. They, could even be a dummy mander, because they drew out their districts so that Republicans could technically win the 14th, possibly if they get high enough in the ballot of the 11th, the 6th. Like, they could win way more than just 4 seats. They could win like 7. Whoop-de-doo. But yeah, Illinois is really bad, really bad. Texas is actually not even close to as bad as you could make it. They just do what they normally do, which is shore up their incumbents. New York's made maps. Iowa has basically assured that Republicans are gonna continue having 4 representatives. Montana is so stupid. They made an R+10 district when they totally could have made 2 safe districts. Also with New Mexico, something to know, I believe they're wanting to go with this one, which again could totally give Republicans 3 out of 3 representatives from New Mexico, because they wanted Yvette Harold to get out. Anyways, anything else to note? Minnesota. This is the last one I'm going to go over, by the way, because this is the last one. So, yeah, basically takes out the highly competitive districts. And this is not obviously the confirmed map, it's just a proposed by the state House Democrats, because the state Senate in Minnesota is barely, but it's controlled by a 1 seat majority by the Republicans. But technically a majority for the Republicans in the state Senate. So I hope, those Republicans have spines and do something to, make the map more fair, more representative. But anyways, then, it really does actually, because it's D plus 13, D plus 14. So actually it just shores up independence, I believe. And makes 4, Democrats get 4, Republicans get 4. But again, technically they could get 5 if they got Annie Craig's. Ilhan Omar's district actually didn't change partisanly, which is something. Also, Florida, they have a bunch of maps proposed, and they don't. None of them, huge gerrymandering. It's very little. But yeah, that's my video on our districting update. Basically, other than Colorado and Washington, a lot of them are, and Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, a lot of them have and are using their, gerrymandering abilities to do that. Also, New Hampshire, state House Republicans, they're probably going to go with this, but it basically gives the Republicans a very likely Republican and basically borderline safe Democrats seat. So yeah. And so far Republicans have 70 solid seats, 12 competitive Republican seats, 12 highly competitive districts, 12 competitive Democratic districts, 43 solidly Democratic districts. But also to note, this is before California and New York, which will add probably 40 from California at least. Probably 45. Well, actually, no, hold on. This is 39 Democrat with 35. So if they go with that plan, that'd be 35 plus 35 plus 13. So that's 48. So yeah, this is before California, New York, Washington, which is also going to be a handful. Also before Pennsylvania, Michigan, mainly Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania, they could potentially try and, also, I don't know how this guy won in Pennsylvania's 8th, but anyways, point is, I also want to make a video after all of these are done, all of them are submitted, and generally look at it. But yeah, that was my video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.